Wow, oh my God. I'm in the front and I didn't look behind me. So welcome everybody here. A lot of you, this is probably your first time. Any show of hands, if it's your first year in college. Some of you has experience and probably transferred in or maybe a non-traditional working adult. Me personally, I'm from Michigan originally, and I'm a non-traditional student. Last semester actually was my first semester here, and I just really wanted to get involved, and I wanted to excel in all avenues of my life, personal, academic, just to go further in higher education, and then also professional. When I first got here from Michigan, I was working 4 different, it's low unemployment, very true, but it's a lot of, I guess you could say dead-end jobs for people if you don't have a resume built up here, unless you have like a skill set or a career that you could transfer in the state with. So I was working 4 different jobs at one time, and I remember a manager of mine, Justin, he said, "Why are you working all these jobs? You're like, I see you working in retail, I see you working fast food over here, and all these things. It's like seeing a unicorn. I see so much potential in you," and that kind of woke me up. Like, I need to get back in school, and like my excuse to not get back in school, which was very true, was I was an independent student. Growing up, there was a lot of hardship. I'm not going to go into details about that, but I was, on my own. I had to figure it out. So I didn't have any co-signers on my loans, and I maxed out of my loans. And that was kind of like, oh, I can't go back to school because I can't afford it. I just got to work. And once you start working and once you're out of school, it's like, oh, I'll go back at some point later. It's so easy to put it off because the more money you make, the more bills just come out of nowhere. And then you got to pay back those loans and all that crazy stuff. So I just found myself just working. And I look up, years went by. And I'm like, after he said that, it just woke something up in me I'm a unicorn. I have potential. I don't have to settle for this. I can do more with my life. And so I was just figuring out ways forget it. Even if I gotta take 1 class at a time, I'll pay out of pocket. No more excuses, no more reasons. If I don't make it, it's my own fault. I have to push myself. So once I got here on campus, I was just talking to Mercedes so much I want to be involved, I want to network, I want to do all these things. And she's like, hey, be careful what you wish for, because here at the University Center, if you want to be a part of something, if you want to get involved, if I don't know, I'll connect you with the person to get you to where you want to go. And I was just so eager and so hungry to be a part of the community. How can I impact the community? How can I inspire the community? How can I be a part of something other than just working a dead-end job or just or just having a career that I'm not super happy about? How can I have a purpose-filled life? So I'm not saying everybody's story is going to be the same, but for me, I found a connection here at UC. There were so many hands just willing to help out. Hey, you need to figure out how to get some financial aid, talk to this person, fill out these papers, apply for this scholarship, all that type of stuff. Whatever you need help with. For my personal growth, I wanted to be a part of clubs and organizations. Back in my home school in Michigan, I went to a private liberal arts college, and I was always involved in so many different clubs and organizations, and that extracurricular activity for me, just being a part of campus, being part of the community, because being in a fraternity, being in a club, an international club, or public relations, or whatever you're involved in, a lot of these clubs and organizations, they offer you opportunities to do community service, to do volunteering. Even most people say, oh, it's spring break, let's go down to Florida, let's go to Miami, let's go to Vegas. I've been there, I've done that. But it was an opportunity to go to New Mexico and do Habitat for Humanity for spring break. And people were like, you crazy, why would you waste your spring break on? Because I want to give back. It's not about, we can have fun in the summer or things like that, but I just want to give back. I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to go through life and not have contributed to the community. to the city, to the country, to the world, you know. So I wanted to make an impact and just be inspiring. So being involved and volunteering and getting involved on a personal level here, I was able to join the sociology club. It's a faculty-led club by Dr. Hartman, a sociology professor, and I was able to be a photographer for the group. And we have wonderful guest speakers. We talk about different conversations and sometimes tough conversations, but those conversations need to be had. It brings awareness. And a good friend of mine, Regina, she started a diversity club last year, and the membership wasn't really taking off. And I think it's that word diversity, it's tainted. Unfortunately, like when people hear diversity, sometimes they think like, oh, I'm not included in that. Like I can't be, you know, that's for people of color or something like that. And that's not, diversity is all of us, you know? So we ended up changing the name to All Students Welcome, ASW. It has a nice little initialism, kind of rolls off the tongue, ASW. Oh, are you going to the ASW club, the meetings on Wednesday? You know, so once we changed that little shift of changing it from diversity club to All Students Welcome, because that's what it is, it's for everybody. The membership ballooned, you know, it swelled. That was impactful and inspiring to include people. If it's something small that's keeping people from joining something that they can belong to, a welcoming space, let's make the shift if we can to include all people. So academically, my academic growth, if you're struggling, or even if you're not struggling, even if you're excelling, there's tutoring available. If you need help writing or math or science, whatever it is, they have tutoring hours, it's available, take advantage of it. One of my classes, if you have a perfect attendance and your grade is good enough, you don't have to take the final exam. I had perfect attendance, and then the last day of class before the final exam will be the next week, I missed that class. I had an emergency, I couldn't make it to class, and no exception, no reason or excuse. I dropped the ball. And I had to take the final exam. I did well on the final exam, but I didn't want to take the final exam. So it's just, you have to take responsibility. You have to be accountable, and there's no excuse. There's tutoring, there's office hours the professors have. You're set up for success, but you have to do the work. No one's gonna carry the bags for you. You gotta show up. 90% of what you do to find success is just showing up. I forgot who said it. It was, maybe it's a famous filmmaker, but he's like 90% of the work is just showing up. The other 10% is your skill set or whatever. So sometimes just being present, being in that moment, showing up at the club. You might hear something, or you might meet someone in an organization or at an event or activity. You make a new friend, and then you carry that friendship throughout the semester and until you graduate. You become lifelong friends. You never know, so just get involved. And then professionally, I wanted to end with that. Here in Vera Hall, sometimes they have like business exploration nights and things like that, where businesses and corporations and organizations come and they present, and you can ask questions, you can get business cards, you can network. What I'm saying is, everything that I was looking for, I found it here. And I don't know, I feel like I'm a spokesperson, but I'm just telling you the truth. This is just my story. I'm not saying everybody's story is gonna be the same, but it's been grateful to be a part of UC. I didn't know what I was gonna say today. I kind of wanted to have an outline, and I was telling Anna and Adam and everybody, I'm like, I'm nervous, I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I'm just speaking from the heart. It's like, I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad I see so many faces here. Welcome to University Center. Let's get it!
Thank you, sir. Here you go. I videotaped that, so you can now go back and watch yourself speak. And gallop like you can do things.